Hello, today's story is about Carboniferous plants. So we still have them here in the greenhouse of mine State University. One of very interesting plant groups which survives almost every changes on Earth from Carboniferous time to the recent times are king ferns or giant ferns or Moritioid ferns. This is a giant fern. It says Angiopteris. It's a small plant. They might reach much bigger size. So they superficially similar to ferns, but it's not really important similarity. Actually, palms are also similar to ferns, but nobody call palms ferns, right? So this is also very different way of growth and a very different way of making spores in giant ferns. So they are growing extremely big leaves, one of the biggest leaves in the plant world. So that's why we call them giant ferns. Second, they have a big distinction from typical fern because each leaf have two different stipules. Not easy to see it here, but in between these leaves you might see big brown stipules, so they surround leaves from the base. It is not occurring in any fern. Finally, the spores are in sporangia, and sporangia are in the bigger structures, synangia. So this is also not typical for any fern. And these guys are present on Earth from very old times. So I just printed for you this extract from one of publications. It's about Moritioid fern from real Carboniferous times, and it's really similar to what we have here. So they didn't change much. These guys stay almost the same, all these Permian, Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous, and then Cenozoic era. Well, why is that? It's a big question. They have some good adaptations to tropical wet forests. So they have lots of interesting things embedded in them. One thing I discovered, if you cut the leaf, it will be small stump, and these guys have an ability to remove the stump, so all tissues in that stump degrade within few days, and like on next week it will come out of the plant, so they don't want to bear old on dead organs. It's one of them. So this is an Asian one, Angiopteris, and this is an American one, Dania. So Danias are also it's a very young plant. So Danias are also very big and form leaves of several meters sometimes in size. The second Carboniferous plant is still thriving today. So this lineage of plants is very widespread in tropics. So they form a ground cover. They adapted very well for dark and shady conditions, and they crawl and form frequently just flat crawling stems, but some of them will grow much higher, and they form not a tree-like but interesting layered structures like this one. So you see stems are going up, and then what? And this is a very strange thing. This is a root which has no similarity with typical roots of ferns. So we call these plants, well, spike mosses, but the name is misleading because mosses is completely different. So spike mosses or Selaginellus is a giant genus of lycopods, so they have very small leaves, but they want to imitate ferns, you see, so in a very interesting way. So their shoots are flat and superficially similar to fern leaves, and they achieve the same level of photosynthesis as ferns do. And I started to tell about these strange roots. Roots are going down from stems, and typically it tends to support the stem which will crawl. In that case, this stem will try to go up and roots will support it additionally. So they are like a stilt roots. And well, we can guess in a Carboniferous forest, because this plant is also from Carboniferous. In Carboniferous forest, the situation with the understory was very different from what we see today. Just imagine multiple intersecting stems and lots of these strange roots will form, well, things more or less similar to mangroves now. That was Carboniferous forest. So, well, Selaginellas have an amazing ability to do almost everything, and the roots of them are not similar to roots of ferns. They probably have independent evolutionary origin. They just wanted to have something for roots, and they formed them. Some Selaginellas have interesting feature. They are iridescent. I'm not sure if it's seen on camera, but look, there is a kind of iridescent tint, like a bluish tint on their leaves. Well, we believe this is an adaptation to low light. Selaginellas can catch very low light and grow very perfectly in the shade. They also can grow in the sun. So very adaptable group of about like 1,000 species, mostly in a tropical forest. In a temperate region there are a few Selaginellas, but most of them are in tropics. So these Carboniferous guys are still with us. Thank you.